Here we are again, another means to an end quest, so I'm going to go over where the contact event is and what the big bad is this week. I'll also give you a breakdown on the best place to get the Umbral Traces, well the fastest way anyway. We'll have a look at some new lore from Eris, and as I've done a few of these now, I thought I'd throw in the weekly reset info as well, so stick around for that at the end. I'll go over all the pinnacle gear sources, we'll go over as well what we've got on display in this week's Eververse Store. So let's jump in to the first part of the means to an end quest, where of course we go to the tower, pick up the doodah from the prismatic recaster, and this week we are off to Titan. The event is now back on Titan, so if you make your way there, pick up the bounties from Sloan, the new weekly bounties, and then we've got the contact event itself, which is the Monstrosity. Now once the event has been converted to heroic by sticking in a bloom in each round, the mechanic this time around, it's these two wizards. They create a shield around the ogre, so make sure you take the wizards down in order to drop the ogre's shields and then administer kick-ins. You need to run it about twice to get the bar completely filled to get onto the next step to get the Umbral Traces. Now this week for the Umbral Traces you have three choices as normal. You can do Gambit Prime, you can do the Reckoning, or you can do Escalation Protocol, and if you get ability kills, then you get more Umbrals drop. Little bit of advice for you, don't bother doing Escalation Protocol, because it takes ages for anything to drop, and it only drops from the main bosses at the end. And my theory is, because you're not actually in a fire team, it's a public event, you're not getting their kills to add to your tally, so don't bother doing that. The Umbral Traces are very, very thin and dry there. You can also run the Reckoning if you want to, particularly tier 3, which is your best chance of getting your highest raking in of Umbral Traces, because, well, there's more enemies, really. And finally, of course, you can do Gambit Prime, which is my preference. I ran it 2.5 times. I say 2.5 times because I got booted on my third run through, but never mind, I just completed it, which was quite nice. So after we do that, we go off to the means to an end quest at the end in the cradle, you know, to get some more Eris lore. Now, I've got to be honest with you, this one is starting to get on my wick, and the bit that really annoys me is this bit on the bridge with these stupid bloody shooting taken things, because every time you get blown off, you got to go and start again. And this is like, what, week 7, so we've run each of these now, maybe coming up to twice or 3 times each in some cases, so starting to get a little bit stale, and I'm starting to get a little bit tetchy with doing them, because every time you go down this main path, if you die in any way at all, you've got to go back right to the beginning again, which is incredibly irritating. And of course, Savathun's eye here, that shooty eye thing, has got some incredibly annoying attacks to really start to get on my nerves. Anyway, rant over. Just a bit of a hint for you, in the last boss room, you will have a couple of Savathun's envoys to kill. The one of most note is this massive knight, so be careful he doesn't turn up behind you and cut your buttocks off and shove them up your nostrils. Okay, once that's done, we jump back to the portal and we'll go and see lovely Eris and see what new lore she's got for us this week.
This word is bound to creation, but presented here as falsehood. Something like unborn.
That's definitely a toupee.
We say guardians are rebirthed by light, but I do sometimes wonder. The choice to live again was not our own.
As these go on, have you noticed how they're painting the Traveller in a darker and darker light? Perhaps the Traveller's the darkness and the darkness is the light. Who knows? But it's all getting very interesting. Don't forget to read the new lore as well. Right, as promised, let's go and have a little look now at this week's reset shenanigans, and I'll give you all the info. Let's have a quick rundown of what we've got here this week in the old Vanguard section for our pinnacles. We can also do our 3 weekly strikes, and if we have a look, the modifiers this week are heavyweight and iron, and it's a void singe this time, so get your void on, so make sure you rack up your 3 kills to get that particular pinnacle. And the Nightfall Ordeal, rather, is going to be in The new Pacific Arcology. That means the Savathun Song. Oh, I've never played that before. Oh no, hang on, I've played it a billion times. We'll have a little look at the Grandmaster of this, because that might be of interest to some of you who are either fantastic at the game or completely insane. We've got Fire Pit. When defeated, Acolytes spawn fire pools that cause damage over time. We've got Unstoppable Champions, Barrier Champions, Chaff. Wait from the chaff, your radar's bust. You've got the Grandmaster modifiers, contest, joined in progress disabled. Oh my god, Champions mob locked, loadout, match game, extra shields. You've got Extinguish, so if you all die in a restricted zone, it's off to orbit for you lot. Limited revives just to make it even harder. And finally, we've got Savathun's Dirge. Incoming void and aerial damage is increased. That sounds like a complete nightmare. And the nightfall we have this week is the Insight Terminus. And the unique nightfall reward for that is the Long Goodbye Sniper Rifle. So if you're still yet to get that, that's what you've got to get there. Don't forget, for your pinnacle rewards, you can also get 3 matches done in Gambit Prime there, or also in Gambit. And the Tier 3 Reckoning boss this week is the Likeness of Oryx, and you can get either the Nightwatch Scout Rifle, Lonesome Sidearm, Last Man Standing, Sole Survivor Sniper Rifle, Last Man Standing is a shotgun, and Just In Case Sword. Having a quick look at the moon, the Nightmare Hunts this week are for a Fear Hunt, which is Fogoth, my favourite, and then you've got a Crota, Son of Oryx, and you also have the Nightmare Fanatic as well, and also you can get your pinnacle from the Garden of Salvation raid. We'll pop in and look at this, and the challenge modifier is to the top, a challenge awaits. Don't forget, of course, you can also do the Pit of Heresy to get yourself another piece of pinnacle gear. For Escalation Protocol this week, we have got the SMG as the main drop, and that's with the Karlok Roar of Zol, I believe his name is, or her. And in the Crucible this week, to get your pinnacle, you can complete 4 matches of either the Classic Mix, Elimination, Control, Rumble. And for the Rotator matches this week, we've got Breakthrough, which I very rarely play, to be honest, and Mayhem, which is loads of fun as well, but it's just powerful gear for those 2 as rewards. And if you're interested in seeing what the store has for offer this week for your Bright Dust, because that's what we'll generally use, if it would hurry up. Got new finishing moves, yes, of course. Right, okay. We've got the Shit-In Slate. Enade Projection, Sinead O'Connor's Projection, Feather of Islands, which is an ornament for Izanagi's Burden. Good lord! That's strange looking, isn't it? Yeah, so there's that. And then we've also got the Canopus Shell. That's quite nice too. You know what? That reminds me of the Zeroids from Terrorhawks. Anybody remember those? Anyway, that's them. And also you've got your boons that you can get as well. Let's go and have a look at what we can get for Bright Dust in particular. We've got the Pyrrhic Victory emote, which is basically completely nicked from The Rock, where Nicolas Cage gets his flares out at the end, but all the helicopters are going over his head, which is nice. We've got August Shell, which is very nice, as it's August very soon, isn't it? Yes, I don't like that. We have a VG-17 Flying Fortress. Let's have a look at this. Ooh, that's nice. I may buy that. In fact, I'm going to buy it now. Thanks very much, new ship. Sign of approval as a rare emote. Yes. Minimalist. Yes, I shan't bother buying that. We've got an ornament for some boots. The Warlock Universal Ornament. Well, I'm a Warlock, so obviously. But there you go. And we've got an ornament for the Arbalist, which looks quite nice. Makes it look like a Mythoclast, really, doesn't it? Really? Yes. And we've got the Crown of Sorrows Projection as well. Don't forget to drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, and a subscribe as well to help me get those numbers up. That would be marvellous. And in the meantime, look at my lovely shiny new ship. It's quite angular, isn't it? I don't like it anymore.